Hello, third grade mathematicians. Today, we are looking at pages 123, 124, and 125. Would you go grab those pages? And if you have a highlighter and a pencil, would you grab those as well? If you don't have a highlighter, just use your pencil. Okay, so you've got these pages. You can see that we're going to look at using area models or arrays to help us figure out how to multiply by 11's and 12's. So today, we are learning to use array models to multiply. Now, your parents might not have grown up using arrays. I wonder if you could explain to them how arrays help us see our math thinking a little bit easier, especially with multiplication. So an array is an arrangement of an arrangement consisting of equal rows and equal columns. Which ones are the rows? Which ways do the rows go? Yes, the rows go across. Equal rows and equal columns. Think of a column that goes up and down. Okay, so these array models help us see our thinking with multiplication. Okay, so for example, let's look at this one with dots here. How many dots are in this row? 5. And how many dots are in the column? 2. So we could say that this array as a multiplication equation would be 2 times 5 or 5 times 2. Is there an addition equation that we could say that represents this array? 5 plus 5, or 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. It just helps us see our thinking a little bit better. All right, so take that marker or highlighter if you have it, and we'll read the directions at the top. So it says, Sam and Tara built some multiplication arrays with base 10 pieces. For each of their arrays, so we already have the arrays drawn, we are going to label the dimensions. Would you circle label and underline label the dimensions? Because there's 2 steps to this, to writing our answers. And then the second one says write 2 different equations to show how many units there are. Will you circle 2 different equations? Okay, so on the example, you can see that they labeled the dimensions because that's the first thing we're supposed to do. So there are 4 rows and 11 columns. So equations, they have 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 11 equals 44. There's one equation. What's the second equation? Oh, 4 times 11 still equals 44. Okay, so let's try A together. First thing, what do we do first? Yes, first we have to label. What should I put over here? How many rows are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll label that 6. You can do it with me if you want. Okay, are you already counting the columns? How many columns are there? Do you see how this is white and this is shaded? That's telling me something. Do you know what that's telling me? I'll tell you in a minute. First, let's count the white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's telling me that there's 10. Okay, this is an extra row, which would make 11, right? So I can label these columns 11. Because if you look at the top, multiplying by 11's and 12's, so you know that these arrays are going to have 11's or 12's, right? The white is just showing us that there are 10. Okay, so we've got 6 and 11. What's an equation we could write for this array or area model with 6 and 11? 6 times 11, yeah, I totally agree. Could you flip-flop it and write 11 times 6? Yeah, you could. 6 times 11. I think I'm going to do that. 11 times 6. So I just flip-flopped that. Okay, now I can't just write the equations. I have to solve it, right? It says show how many units there are. Now, should I count each one of these units, each one of these squares one by one? No! I'll be here all day. I don't want to do that. Now, you told me there's 10 in this row, so why don't I just count by 10s? I'm leaving this shaded part out for now because that's multiplying by 11's. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, plus how many more? Shaded. 60 plus 6. I'm just going to write that. 60 plus 6. What's 60 plus 6? 66. So there are 66 units in that array. So I know that 6 times 11 is 66. And 11 times 6 is 66. Okay, next page. Oh, the next page, I'm noticing the directions say, Holly and Micah use dimes and pennies. Dimes, what's a dime worth? 10. And a penny? 1. To show some multiplication facts. Write a multiplication equation. Oh, this time I'm not writing addition, I'm writing multiplication equation to show how much money is in each arrangement. I underlined, write a multiplication equation. You might want to do that too. Okay, so I'm looking at this first arrangement. You can see that these guys are different. They're a little bit smaller. Those are dimes. What's a dime worth? 10 cents. And the pennies are worth 1. So in this row, I have 10, 11, 12 cents. Yes? And in this column, I have 20. That doesn't really matter. They just want us to say how much is represented here. So you can see a multiplication equation. 2 times 12. I've got 2 rows with 12 in each. So you'll do the same for these guys. This row has 1 dime and 1 penny. So that would be how much? 11 plus 11 plus 11. But they want multiplication. So you'll have to figure out what the multiplication equation will be for that. The final page says make sketches of dimes and pennies. So this time they don't give you this sketch. They want you to draw it just like the last page to show and solve the problem. Label your sketches. Okay, mathematicians, this assignment might be a little bit hard. The last page might be a little bit hard. Go back to the page before it and use what you already know. Use what you just did to build onto it. You can do this, okay? Persevere. Don't do it all on the same day. Go back another day. Okay, see you next time.